Hello and welcome to the last Swiss round for today. This is round 14, and for this round we're featuring two players that are on the bubble to make. No, it's actually Edi, Rami, H, E, Didi, I, B. So no, that's his last name.
What?
Yeah, maybe I should write.
Maybe. Sorry, a bit of mix up with the names here.
No problem. I don't think that the Twitch chat will be too harsh on us.
No, I hope not. So welcome back, guys. Yeah, like we said just before we went to the break, we were promised to bring you the best or most tense matchup possible for the on the bubble for the winning in, and this is what we are bringing you right here. We actually, one of the players we're featuring are Andre. He was going to be our round 1 or our round 9 feature match, or is it 10? No, round 10 feature match for today. But we had the technical difficulties, so and he was really excited to be on stream. So it would be only fair to sort of bring him back so that he actually has a chance to be on stream now, which I'm sure he'll be really happy about.
Yeah, that's true. Also, we featured Edi yesterday. He played against Alessandro. I'm sure you remember that game. That was really interesting. Alessandro with his crazy Gengar deck.
Wait, what? Gengar? I must have missed it.
Yeah, Edi played against Gengar, but he won because he played Mr. Mime and stuff like that.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, that was a crazy game. You have to rewatch that. Maybe we'll upload them someday.
That sounds like it should be a stream highlights, definitely.
Yeah, it definitely was. But now he's back with an 8-3 record, I believe. And yeah, it's round 14. And with a win, they should be at least on the bubble of making top cut. And if they're out, and if they lose, they're just out.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we're just going to get the countdown timer ready here, wait for them both to set up, and then once they are done with setting up, we can start this round. So remind me, so the matchup again, we've got the two deck lists here, right?
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, Andre is going to be playing Alolan Ninetales, as we saw very briefly earlier on, and here, Edi is playing Decidueye Ninetales.
Yeah, Decidueye Ninetales. With Mr. Mime Tech and Tapu Koko and Espeon EX. So that Espeon EX as well as the Mr. Mime might really hurt Andre in this matchup, because Andre maybe relies on his Ninetales Ice Blade attack, which he's not going to be able to use with Mr. Mime in play, at least not on the bench.
No, definitely.
Also, the Espeon EX just evolves the Ninetales, so he doesn't need to do many further arrows to just knock out the Ninetales by devolving it into Alolan Vulpix.
Is he? And he's not playing Rough Seas, is he? Or is he playing Rough Seas?
He's playing two Rough Seas.
Okay. So yeah, it's not like, for example, we were saying Carl Peters against Decidueye, he can very easily just Rough Seas all the time and just heal everything, but against but in this particular instance that won't be as viable because with only two, it's you just can't, especially with the stadiums getting replaced constantly with the forest, it's just much less likely to happen. So yeah, definitely going to be less of a viable counter strategy in this particular list for Alolan Ninetales.
Yeah, just too many counters to those two Rough Seas. I mean, if you play 4, you might be able to just, we get 4 turns of healing, of course, at least, but you have to assume that every turn of Rough Seas will get removed.
Yeah.
So I don't know if 2 turns of healing with Rough Seas will be enough for Andre in this matchup. However, we see Andre going first right now, opening with Tapu Koko, which should be his best start if we retreat. A nice attack, and now he can search out a few Alolan Vulpix and maybe Remoraid, because he also plays Artillery, so that might be what he's going for here. So the main difference between Karl's list and Andre's list seems to be that Andre's list is a little more teched out. He plays the one of Mallow, and as well as a Karen, which is really interesting. Karen, never seen this card until this point. It's probably to counter Vespiquen decks.
Yeah, I'd imagine that.
Andre must have expected a lot of Vespiquen decks this tournament, for some reason. Actually, Vespiquen was in our metagame analysis, but it was one of the fewer played decks. But maybe it has come up for him. Maybe faced the Vespiquen.
Yeah, maybe that might. It'll be interesting to see how useful it actually was for him. But Yeah, like main difference is like we said, the one thing we said already, a lower roughs used count, and he actually is playing field blower, whereas Carl Peters was not. So, but
and
still,
also floatstone.
Then also floatstone, but still a fairly low item count overall. Like you got.
That's true.
2 more with the field blower, and you have 3 choice bands and 2 plus 2 floatstone, but it's the extra items are things you have to field blower away for them to make a difference in the impact of the guard now. And in this matchup, it's not relevant anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Also, he plays the Giratina promo, which is used against Greninja.
Yes, of course. No one likes to lose to Greninja.
Yeah, it's understandable. So it seems like Andre favored techs overall in his deck list. We'll see if it works in this matchup. I don't see any particular tech that helps him right here, but maybe he'll still pull through. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I guess we will. Like I said, we'll have to see. Hedy is got a level for a Vulpix. That's great. Especially if you're going second with the Sidra Ninetales, being able to beacon turn 1 is so strong.
But it might also indicate kind of a less of a good start, because it seems like he's really struggling with his decisions, and it might be that he just has to actually retreat with the Vulpix and use Icy Snow. If he doesn't have much else, he can use Shaman for 1, which is never an indication of a good start.
No, it's not.
But now he's confidently benching a Tapu Koko with an energy, so he must have drawn something.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. Like, I think this Sidra Ninetales was actually what I played yesterday. I think if that were me, I would consider just maybe attaching the DCE to even to the Rowlet, and then because that way if I get a Floatstone, great, then I can retreat and beacon. But then if I don't, I can still retreat and beacon by discarding the DCE. I mean, it's not ideal, but if I'm going to be losing off a Sycamore anyway, then that's a lot better. And then that way at least I guarantee myself the beacon. Whereas now, because of that, Hedy has missed the beacon.
Yeah, that's true. Also, he wasn't really threatened to get knocked out. The Vulpix at least wasn't threatened to get knocked out next turn.
No, exactly. And now look, now equally he's lost a second DC because there was one discarded. He's lost and he's got a Shaman on the field instead of in a discard, so that's a very easy prize pick off for Andre later on as well. It's just that first end did not really go well for Hedy at all.
Yeah, well, at least since Andre won't be able to put on that much pressure, I think Rowlet will survive this turn. So, I mean, Hedy has that going for him. At least he can evolve the Rowlet next turn and maybe get some Decidueye going.
Yeah, this is true.
Obviously, it would have been much better if you were able to attack with the Alolan Vulpix last turn. But now Andre is actually discarding his Giratina. It won't do anything in this matchup, and also a Field Blower, which could be okay in this matchup, but it's a fine discard, I think.
It's not as vital a card as it would be against some other matchups, so yeah, it's fine to discard it here. It looks like it'd be interesting to see what he actually is going to go for. So it looks like he's opting for a Tapu Lele. Oh, okay, maybe his current choice of supporter is not ideal. So you might be thinking
he could also go for an Octillery, but maybe he's just now discovering that it's priced, which could be a possibility.
Yeah, that's
but I would assume he would have checked that last turn, so maybe he just wanted to ensure the supporter for this turn.
Yeah.
By grabbing the Tapu Lele. But also, I think this could be kind of a premature play of Tapu Lele because you actually want to reserve Tapu Lele for spots where it's really vital to use it.
Yeah, it does seem like using 2 already, and given that I'm pretty sure Andre he only plays 2, so you're really not going to have access to Tapu Lele later. So that's really unlucky though, because that means that Andre, he does play a 2-2 Octillery line. That means he must have 2 Octillery prized, not just 1. That's very unfortunate for him.
It would be really unlucky, and seeing as he already put down the Remoraid and he had a good look through his deck, I don't think that prized any. It just felt like going for the Tapu Lele, but then again I didn't see any in the deck, so it's really difficult to say.
I feel like I think because the thing is, if it is prized, there's still no reason to put down the not put down the Remoraid, because you don't want your opponent to just assume that they're priced straight away, I guess, because if you have the means to go for it and you do, then it's like and there's also maybe Andre just takes a cheeky prize here and there. Maybe he gets one out of the prizes quickly. It's a 1 in 3 chance if he takes 2 prizes off an EX, or a 1 in 6 chance if he takes a prize off a non-EX. Although just having to pass there not ideal.
No, definitely not ideal. Also, Alona Nightingale's attacks aren't really effective in this matchup, at least without Tapu Koko.
Yeah.
You know, what I would have liked to see is actually a Tapu Koko attack this turn out of Andre. That would have put Vulpix in a better damage range. Also, if you can get some Tapu Koko attacks going and start to stack those damage counters, then you get much better calculations for your Blizzard Edge attack.
Yeah, 100%. Flying Flip is really the extra little bit of edge you need in order to make the Alolan Ninetales' attacks actually worthwhile in this matchup, because otherwise, yeah, everything is really ridiculously high amounts of HP. Decidueye is 240. That is insanely high. It's so hard to deal with for Andre's deck.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see what it is drawn here. Actually, it's just going for Sycamore. What he needs here is definitely a Forest of Giant Plants. First of all, kicking that Rough Seas, that would be really good. Kicking the Rough Seas before it even got to heal any damage would be great.
Yeah.
But it looks like he didn't get too much. He also very important thing to mention, he actually cut down on one of the Forest of Giant Plants, which we usually we never see
three.
that. He only plays 3 Forest of Giant Plants.
Whoa, okay.
And I talked to him a little, and he said he and his friend Mediafi were just thinking, okay, the forest isn't too important because we are a slower Decidueye variant anyway, and they just cut it for the Mr. Mime to have a slight advantage in the mirror match. That was their line of thought.
Okay.
But,
actually, I mean, thinking about it more, I mean, you'd never want to do it in the Decidueye Viable variant, but in Ninetales, but actually thinking about it, yeah, so many times when I'm playing games, I end up just evolving manually anyway after beacons. So I can see the point actually. Now that I think about it a bit more, but I mean, it's still very, very brave.
Yeah, that's true. It's also why we never see that. I'm sure, like, a lot of people have already thought about maybe cut one forest. They're so useless after you got the first one and get all the setups.
Yeah.
But I mean, you actually have to get into the first one, and since you don't want trainers anymore.
Yeah, that's the other thing as well.
It's kind of hard to draw into them.
So going back to Andre's turn, we've seen another Sycamore from him. We actually did see that Hedy, although he didn't have a forage, he did have a Field Blower, so that got rid of one of the Rough Seas, and now Andre has played down the second one, but there's a very big potential here because there's still no real damage on water Pokemon on Andre's side of the field. If Hedy has another Field Blower or a Counter Stadium, then both of Andre's Rough Seas could be just eliminated whilst getting no value whatsoever. And if that... Oh wait, hold on, no, so ignore me, that was completely wrong. There was a Flying Flip last turn. Yeah, and he healed off the Koko, the 2 Ninetales, and the Remoraid. So actually, no, he did get value out of Rough Seas, at least for those.
Yeah, I mean, it's not optimal, because you only heal 20 of each chance instead of 30, but of course you put down the Rough Seas in this situation if you're playing Sycamore anyway.
Yeah.
And also healing is not bad. And of course this Rough Seas is not gonna stick.
No.
And
No
it
way.
looks like for most of the rest of the game, Andre has to deal with all the damage that he's getting dealt by the Decidueyes and the Tapu Kokos.
And it looks like both auxiliaries are indeed prize filler. I don't see any in his deck right now.
Yeah, I actually have to question that the play to search Remoraid, because it could have just searched another Alolan Vulpix.
Yeah.
The third Ninetales.
Yeah,
which
this is
is
true.
surely what you want.
And this is true.
Because the Remoraid is just blocking your bench space
Yeah.
now.
Again, like I said before, the only reason I can think of for him favouring that is thinking, oh yeah, maybe I get off the prizes and then it's there ready. But other than that, yeah, I know what you mean.
But then again, he's not taking any prizes
No.
very fast right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, of course, sometimes when you're under pressure, you forget to look for everything in your deck.
Yeah, yes,
and maybe
of course.
you just assume that one auxiliary is going to be in the deck anyway, because
Yeah.
you play two, it's so unlikely that both are priced, and going for the Remoraid is usually the better play.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, but it is like you said as well. Yeah, having the third Vulpix would be really, really good. Going back to Hedy's turn, in any case, we do see he does have the forest there, so that is now it for Andre. In terms of, there's no more Rough Seas for Andre. So now Hedy, if he can just start getting some Decidueyes down, he can really start putting some massive pressure on these Alolan Ninetales. And then if he can threaten the Espeon EX, that is going to be very. It's going to put him in a very good position to win this game if he can actually pull off that play.
Yeah.
And we do see an end from him as well. I actually didn't see. Did Andre get one of his artilleries out of the prizes with that attack just there? I'm not sure if he did.
I didn't quite see that. but of course it would be really good for him if he did. But
yeah, but really good.
I don't know how much artillery is going to help in this matchup, but surely it's better than no artillery.
Yes, of course.
So what Eddie needs right now is the first Decidueye, there we go, but also he would like to get some more rounded sound in play.
Yeah, he would.
Of course. He could go for a Holo Hunt this turn.
Yeah, I was just thinking that might be pretty good, depending on what he's discarded. He can maybe get back some of those resources he had to Sycamore away earlier, and it looks like that's what he's thinking about.
Now he could go with the setup approach and just get some cards back that he needs to set up, or he could maybe get some resources back that he used before. But now he's attaching a DC to a Alolan Ninetales, so maybe he's also thinking about doing some damage with that. He could do 80 damage to the active Alolan Ninetales with a nice blade, but it looks like he's just going for the Holo Hunt. Of course, you can't forget about the Decidueye ability.
Yeah, I like how he's literally just picking it up and pointing it to something. He's like, oh yeah, I'm better at this. You know?
Yeah, that's right.
And it looks like, after that he will go for the Holo Hunt. Yeah, God, that's so weird that he did that. I noticed that this is something, I don't know if Heady comes from other card games, but this is something I've seen players from other card games do. Like they'll actually pick up the Pokemon and sort of thrust it forward as if they're attacking with it.
Yeah, it's like I've seen that in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
It's it makes me think that they've come from another card game like that, but we actually do that. But it's just funny. But that's like we're going to see a Holo Hunt here.
Yeah, so it's definitely going for the resource round, getting back Dartrix versus Zika and
double colorless.
Energy.
So he'll be able to do a Razor Leaf next turn if he really wants. We do see a Choice Band going on to the Ninetales there. Maybe start putting on a little bit of pressure. Blizzard Edge right now will be doing, if he gets another energy and does Blizzard Edge, it'll be 190. It's not really quite enough.
He's definitely going for the True Shot here.
Yes.
I think it's not too risky to attach the third energy anyway.
No, I think you're right. There's nothing really threatening a huge KO from Heady's side, even if Heady attaches the double colorless to attack with Lele in a Choice Band. That's still nowhere near enough for a KO, even with one Feather Arrow. So I think you're absolutely right. Oh, he does have a Floatstone as well, and another Sycamore.
Actually would have liked to see the Floatstone going onto the top of Lele here, because that's like more resilient, and like the Remoraid could get knocked out more easily, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's very true.
Usually you put it down to retreat the artillery, but I don't think that will come up in this matchup too much.
In fact, that Remoraid 3 Feather Arrows KOs that, so if Heady could just get 2 more Decidueyes out, that's going to be bad news for Andre.
Although it would free up a Svench again.
Yeah, it would.
But oh well. I think it's still Andre's turn. He's probably thinking about what to do with this huge Sycamore. I think a decent play would be to just go for 80 damage on the active.
But no,
I don't see why you would Blizzard Edge this turn. Because also he must know that Eddie is playing 3 max potions. So this could backfire. This could backfire really badly. So this is actually a suboptimal play from Andre Scuba here.
Wow. Okay. No, that's if you know that your opponent's not playing max potions, that's one thing. But we are in literally the last switch out of this one.
And I think at this point you gotta know what you're facing.
Yeah, and so either way, that is either like a lack of sort of preparedness on Andre's part, not knowing about the list, or just an oversight. Because if Heady can see a max potion now, Andre is going to be very, very sad. And I think
then that's 2 energies, one of his main resources, gone for nothing.
Yeah, exactly. And I would not be surprised if Heady has, there's a Versus Seeker. He's going to go for an N. He's drawing 6. He's not played a max potion yet. That deck is looking quite thin. I fancy his chances of getting this max potion here.
Yeah. I do too. But anyway, even if you don't know if your opponent's playing max potion, why don't you just... I mean, it does make kind of sense to go for 190, because then if he retreats, they could just do 50 to the bench.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
But now that you know that he's playing max potion, you'd rather just do like 80 damage and then hope to follow up with something with a more with a Blizzard Edge next turn or something like that.
That's exactly it. Normally, I think actually thinking about it with the snipe on the bench, 190 would be the correct play. But in this instance, you should, like I said, you should really know that going for it is going to be it's just going to not end well for you. The fact that I think Heady's not drawn the max potion here, so that's a very lucky break for Andre if that's the case, because he's not used a single one yet, so unless he discarded one earlier and I didn't see. But
so if he had the max potion, this play could have backfired tremendously, but in this case, looks like Andre is fine, and it's even paid off for him to go with this risky.
Yeah, possibly. Although, having said that, it might be that Heady is just... Because normally when you're doing your turn, you do stuff like Ultra Ball first anyway, so it could just be that he's just doing everything first and then max potioning, just to make sure he does things in the right order. Unless...
Yeah.
But no, it doesn't look like it. I think he would have played it by now if he had it.
Yeah, me too. And now he's just going for a load of Ninetales, dealing 80 damage, and this is really threatening because now all the Rusties are gone, he can't heal those Ninetales.
Yep.
And next turn he can just devolve both those Ninetales with Espeon EX, and basically removing both out of play because Vulpix only has 60 HP.
Yep.
Both Vulpix will be knocked out. That's only 2 prizes for Eddie, but still all those attackers are gone.
Yeah, then that's really not... It's not really a great position to be in. We do see Andre did have the other energy in hand, so he got the water, which he hasn't actually active, so he will be able to do the... What? Are we missing something?
Yeah, it's only... Oh, that's only 180 damage.
No, it's 190. There's a tiny one there.
Yeah, I don't think how could he even do it 180. That's impossible.
Yeah, exactly.
That's 190.
But he doesn't need to... Oh, he's done Ice Path.
He's done the GX attack.
Yeah,
well, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that does make sense.
Now, Eddie can't use the Espeon to the full effect.
Yeah, no,
yet.
he can't.
Unless he can just attack with the lower Ninetales again and just do the Espeon play next turn. So
yeah.
I think he's still fine. But that was definitely a decent play from Andre here.
Yeah, no, that was... I guess we're not saying by any means that Andre is like a bad player at all.
No, he made it to the final round. He's still in contention, so he's definitely knowing what he's doing. But I mean, maybe he didn't get to talk to a lot of people that could tell him what Eddie's exactly playing in this list. So that's not a huge mistake on his part, and actually his plays have been quite decent so far in a vacuum kind of way.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to eat a Vulpix. That's what I'm going to do, which sounds really wrong, but it's good. It's
yeah, I'll just take one of those bonbons here. Yeah.
Just something to do. It's like David refers to, like shuffle talk. Instead of shuffle talk, it's
yeah, we're just eating.
Very professional, guys. Anyway, so looks like there's some dice being rearranged. I think he's preparing something for that. Oh, it looks like we're going to see a Sky Return this turn. That's actually really good because that takes off an easy prize from any side of the board from Andre, which we'd be able to otherwise take. That's a really good play. I like this a lot. And it clears a bench spot as well, so that Eddie can put down more Decidueye and the Aspen at the same time. Really good play.
Yeah. Now he's putting 40 damage on the active and the Sky Return, so now this alone in 9 hits is already in range for the Espeon Devolve again.
Yeah.
And basically, Andre is faced with the same problem as last time, but now he has already used his GX attack, and there are no easy prizes on the board for him to take.
Indeed not. And not only that, Philip, but have a look at what's going on right here. So, if Heady is able to get out one more Decidueye, and I'm not sure how many of his lines he's been through. Maybe he doesn't have enough to do this. But if he can get one more Decidueye out, get the Espeon down, attach an energy, knock out the Remoraid, and knock out both of the Vulpixes, at which point surely he just wins right there. So that'll be an insane turn.
Yeah, 5 prize turn might be coming up.
No, only 3 prizes. No, it's only the Vulpix is being knocked out. Yeah.
True.
But it knocks out every single attacker that he has that's viable, basically.
Yeah, basically the board will be completely cleared.
Yeah.
Usually you'd like to have something like a third Vulpix to put down, but the bench is already full.
Yeah.
So you won't be able to power up any attackers besides those alone 90s, which are about to be developed next time.
And this is actually something that, whether intentionally or not, Hedy has done is really clever. He's opted to go with this Espeon route and not just take knockouts constantly, because he knows that Andre's bench is full. So by doing it this way round, he knows that he stops Andre from being able to set up something else to attack with once his other guys go down, which is again really clever.
Yeah. So I'm sure Eddie knows that the Espeon is big for him.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, exactly. You don't get this far in a big tournament without knowing how to use that card. Ooh, we do see. Now, you see, again, at this point, I feel like maybe it does just make sense to do Blizzard Edge, because in spite of the max potion, you can just use it to take a knockout and attack with Lele, so yeah, no, this is absolutely correct.
Yeah, this is alright. Now, I mean, you can use that Apple Patch, although I would have liked to see him save it, because you have to assume that both of those Ninetales are going down now.
Yeah. Sorry, excuse me. Yeah. So at this point, at least both the Ninetales are going down. There is a possibility for the Remoraid to go down as well. Yep. The only tricky thing for Hedy is Andre has already taken 5 prizes, so it comes to a situation where we've seen again. Like, the one thing to always remember that's important in Pokemon, taking all 5 of your prizes does not necessarily mean you're in the lead. Like, we've seen 5, 6 comebacks go to like 0.
Well, remember, he's only taking 3 prizes.
Oh,
2.
Yeah, no, that's true. But what I mean to say is that you can't always just assume that someone's going to win because they're really ahead on prizes. But at the same time, this is a hard comeback for Hedy to pull off in the sense of, because exactly like you said, he's not taking all the prizes in the world. He's just taking like 2 guaranteed, maybe 3 if he gets if he does Decidueye. You could see that still buys Andre some more time to set up another attacker, because he only has 1 prize left. So he can maybe just, I don't know, KO.
I think although Andre has only 1 prize left, Eddie is more likely to win, because now he's evolving both of those Ninetales with Espeon, taking 2 prizes, and basically his board position will be really great after that.
This is true.
And taking prizes while also having a much better board position is always one of the best conditions to win the game.
Actually, thinking about it as well, this goes back to what we were saying earlier. There's no easy way for Andre to actually set up a backup attacker. He can really much only attack with Tapu Lele or Tapu Koko.
And even if he does, there are no easy prizes for him anymore.
No.
The Espeon being the easiest of them all.
Yeah, that's the big thing as well.
You could technically attack the Espeon twice and try to get a knockout that way with Capillarians.
But it's not ideal, is it? But it's really tricky for him to actually... But
now I don't think he's ever setting up Lone Ninetales again.
No, I think you're right, especially with Opponenta 1 as well, and exactly with no Remoraid, because he has no artillery.
And his hand seems to be completely dead. Well, not completely dead, he has a Lysandre. So he can at least Lysandre maybe the Decidueye. But still, he's getting chipped away at with those feather arrows each turn, so...
I mean, to be fair to Andre, it is crazy unlucky. Normally this deck, as we've said before, is very much invulnerable to end because you have artillery, but he prized 2, and even after taking 5 prizes, he still hasn't been able to get his other artillery out, which is very unfortunate for him. We do see that Andre... Oh god, he's just forced to pass. Oh dear. Not a good place to be, and now not only that, but we've got another Rowlet down, and a Dartrix, and a Decidueye.
Yeah, I think...
Yeah, it's over at this point.
If it wasn't before that Andre.
Yeah, exactly. I agree completely. That's... Well... Yeah, so down goes the Remoraid, so Andre's basically just going to be powerless against N for the rest of the game. Down goes a Grass Energy as well. We're just going to see a retreat from the Espeon into something. Of course, he has the Ninetales ready to attack.
He can just do 50 damage to something. I mean, at this point, it doesn't really matter where he puts the damage anymore, because I don't think there's literally any way for Andre to do that.
He forgot his 2 other head arrows. He didn't want to. He didn't want to knock out the Remoraid, and now he's just done Ice Blade for 50 on the active.
Well, of course, that's a mistake. If you forget your feather arrows, like each turn from now on, of course you're not going to win back.
No.
But I hope Eddie remembers that he has 3 Decidueyes out next turn.
Not 1.
Yeah.
Unless I missed something, but I'm fairly sure the Remoraid already taken 40, so you only need 1 feather arrow to KO it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So yeah, he must have just forgotten. Okay, that's interesting. It's a Mallow. See, normally what you do with Mallow is you use it with artillery and you get the card you straight away, but of course here that's not going to work for Andre this time because he doesn't have that, so you just going to shuffle those 2 cards, shuffle the rest of his deck, put those 2 cards on the top of the deck. It looks like a Sycamore and something else, and so next turn he'll be able to do something. He knows that, but those, it's 2 Ninetales in his hand.
Yeah, no, his hand is almost completely dead. I think at this point you need to scoop. Being Andre, it's still 0-0, and the clock is ticking down, and right now, with only a little more than 20 minutes left, I don't actually see Andre winning 2 games straight after this, except if Eddie draws awfully.
Definitely. I think. Yeah, this is the tricky thing sometimes. They're sort of like not knowing, or just thinking, but there's a tiny 1,000% chance that I win, but at this point it's just not worth it. You have to assess the odds and just think to yourself, I'm just going to accept that I'm probably not going to win this and just try to win a game 2 and 3 quickly.
I think Andre himself doesn't even know what he actually needs to win.
Yeah,
at
exactly.
This point. I mean, what is he going for? He's just waiting to get knocked out, and at this point, just need to scoop in a win-and-end scenario. Because it's not only win and win, it's also tie and die.
Yeah, I like that. I've not heard that before.
I actually stole that joke from someone. I heard it before, like yesterday. I thought it was so great, I had to include it here.
Yeah, I love that. Also, Hedy also had the N last turn, which prevented Andre from being able to dig his way out of the bad situation with the Mallow. And all he has is his own N, so he's going to draw 1 card off of this, and that's really not going to be any help. And finally, there he was, and with the concession, Hedy is going to take game 1, and we have 21 minutes left for game 2. And I think about the comparison to the last match, where we had 25 minutes left for game 3. Here we have less time than that left, and there's 2 games left to go.
Yeah, to be fair, it was a difficult first game. It kind of looked like Andre was at the edge of winning. For a lot of time he got to take a lot of big knockouts, but when the SP and the EX attacked and he drew into that end without an artillery out of play,
that's the point.
That's the point where he should have just said, alright, okay, I had a good run, but now it's time to scoop.
Yeah, I completely agree. Although this does mean at this point, so if you're Hedy, you got to be pretty happy about this, because it does mean you've won a long game 1, so you can afford to not stall, but you can afford to just make sure just take your time a little bit in game 2. You're not under pressure to win game 2 quickly. That's what's really tricky for Andre right now. And this isn't a fast matchup either. This is a very slow, sort of normal pace matchup.
Ninetales really is a deck that first needs to set up quite a while before it does anything big.
Yeah, and same with the Decidueye as well. So advantage Hedy right now, 100%. But as I always like to say, and I've said this on the official stream, something paraphrasing the legendary Murray Walker, anything can happen in Pokemon, and it usually does. So we will have to see just how exactly this plays out.
Yeah. Do you actually think that the second game is going to play out any different? Because I personally don't see any other way this works out if Eddie sets up.
Thinking about it, I agree. I think the same. It's so tricky for Andre, especially because he's not playing. For example, Carl Peters, I think, would stand a much better chance against Decidueye Ninetales, because you have the rough seas, you have the forests, you have everything else. But Andre's this. I agree. I think Hedy is definitely favoured here.
Yeah, what Andre would need to do is maybe set up 3 alone Ninetales to make it kind of hard to put all of them in range for Vulpix, so he still has attackers left after the devolve.
And then maybe being extremely conservative with the rough seas, only playing
and
it.
Maybe also attaching to a Tapu Lele from time to time, so he can deal with the Espeon when it comes up.
And we will have to see how this plays out. Oh, speaking of Espeon, Hedy has actually started with this game. That's really not that great.
Really not that great, but I mean, even if it gets knocked out early, he can grab it back with Hollow Hunt, of course, and also Rescue Stretcher.
Yeah, this is true.
So, although these are kind of 2 free prizes on the board for later on, he has ways to get it back. So, not too worried too much.
And if somehow it survives, then it means that if one he wants to do that play, he doesn't need to search it. So it could end up being okay, but definitely not what he wants to. Probably the worst starter in the deck, actually.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, in this matchup it's fine because you can still use it, but there are matchups like, imagine Darkrai or maybe Jumper Garbodor, you really don't want to see that Espeon, especially against Jumper Garbodor. Imagine that with the weakness as well.
Oh, that's awful. Yeah, you start against Jumper Garbodor and you just want to cry.
Yeah.
Right, we just see there, so Andre starting us off, he needs to actually unflip his GX counter. He forgot. No, actually that's Heady's GX counter. Andre's
I don't know if Andre forgot to flip his too, but I mean, they should know they both haven't used the GX attack, and we'll keep track of that, and if they have a discussion about that, we are watching.
Yeah, exactly, that's true. But otherwise, from Andre, we just saw an Ultra Ball for Tapu Lele, and Tapu Lele using one tag ability, grabbing the end from the deck and playing it straight away. So obviously, some stuff there from Andre's hand they didn't really want to discard. But that is
that hand literally has nothing but energies and floats on hand.
And a Lysander. Oh, another dead hand from Andre.
Boy. And there we see. Have you seen? We don't have face cams, but have you seen Andre's motion right there? Like, it was so obvious that he had a bad hand.
Yeah.
Like, he's not really keeping track of his movements and his. We don't know about the facial expression, but basically only from the hand you could see he was very frustrated with the hand. So it's already giving Heady some kind of tells, which you shouldn't really do. You should just keep calm in the situation, maybe hope to top deck, but never show your opponent that you have a bad hand.
Yeah, this is something that I think a lot of Pokemon players, even some of the really good ones, the ones who do well tournaments, aren't always aware of. Like, just giving your opponent information like that, where they just tell them straight away, oh, I'm not going to end it, I'm going to play Sycamore. Maybe sometimes you do it as a bluff, but most of the time it's fairly obvious when it's a bluff and when it's not. It's like. In
this situation he's not even put down a Vulpix, so I think Eddie knows what's going on.
Yeah, exactly, and equally there, Eddie, no interest in ending at all. He's got the Bridget, he's got a float over the Espeon, that's perfect. He can just retreat into the Vulpix and Beacon. Like, what a brilliant turn one.
He should just Beacon for a Tapu Lele and maybe a Dartrix. He has an N in hand, but he doesn't want to play the N. Now we see a Mr. Mime coming down.
Oh wow, that's even better.
Yeah, that's actually kind of a good card in this matchup.
Very strong, so now Ice Blade will only be able to hit the active.
Yeah. But actually we see him going for 2 Dartrix, so maybe he didn't quite come around to notice that Andre's hand is quite bad.
Does he?
He does only have an N in hand, so maybe he will be forced to end next turn. But now at least...
Oh, he had a Burst Seeker. Oh, okay.
I was really thinking that was a Lysander. Maybe a top deck the Burst Seeker as well.
Maybe. I thought
he must have top decked the Vulpix. So otherwise he would have put that down. So maybe we were just overlooking that one.
Possibly.
But looks like he's going for a Tapu Lele approach this game. I quite like this. Now he can just knock out the Vulpix before Eddie even has set up, and he also nullified the Icy Snow attack by ending Eddie. So taking a knockout on the Vulpix would surely be a nice play to open up. Putting pressure also the Tapu Lele early, it's really good because later on against Espeon quite hard.
Wait, hold on. You said they get the Icy Snow. Icy Snow is the attack that does 20 damage.
Oh, what's the first attack?
Beacon, yeah.
Sorry guys, I obviously meant Beacon.
I've heard you say it before, but I wasn't sure if I was really confused. Like, Icy Snow, 20 what?
Yeah, I'm never sure about the attack names actually. I always like to say the Surge attack.
Exactly.
Pokemon never read my attacks. I always like Surge.
What's Beacon in German?
Beacon. I don't even know the
even know.
English.
There you go.
There are even Pokemon that I don't even know the German names of. So.
Wow. There you go. Well, in any case, a really good, actually a really great recovery turn from Andre as he attaches the water to the Tapu Lele, gets the Energy Drive knockout onto the Vulpix, which and then
already won the Sidrai.
Yeah, already won Sidrai. So going back to Eddie's turn, it's still a good turn for him. He does have the Forest and the one Sidrai out, and an Ultra Ball, probably going to get himself a Dartrix. Or no, Tapu Lele, he must not have a supporter in hand. So. Yep. So he can use the Tapu Lele and he's going to grab himself probably a Sycamore, and this field is already looking It's funny because actually Heady's setup in the first game wasn't that great, but he still managed to win very convincingly. Like, imagine like now, it looks like he's going to have an even better field.
Yeah,
and
it's true.
It's just like
the only thing that would be even better is drawing into another Sidrai and a DC, because that would actually be a knockout on the Tapu Lele.
Yes, it would. God, if you can get that, then that puts the sort of tempo right back in his favour.
And he does play Shaman, so he might even get to dig.
There's a double colorless.
The first combo piece.
Does he have the Dartrix and the Decidueye? Actually, even if he doesn't, just doing...
even if he doesn't, he can just knock out the Tapu Lele next turn, and there's no way for Andre to heal it, because it doesn't play, unlike how he doesn't play cards like Pokemon Center Lady, where he's only uses water Pokemon and maybe Tapu Koko as well.
Yeah.
But not the Sidra for sure.
Exactly, so there it goes, one Feather Arrow into the active, and then an Energy Drive will be doing 130, leaving the Tapu Lele on 20 HP left, which is, just one Feather Arrow away from a knockout.
So this early Tapu Lele pressure seemed to backfire now.
Yeah, a little bit.
Hey, let's see how Andre can deal with that.
Yeah, he does have another double colours in hand, so he can actually put that onto the Vulpix, maybe start pressuring with a Ninetales if he can find one. Another alternative he does have, he has another Lele in his hand. He could just bench that and attach to that and drive back, but that seems really risky because then he can just he has another turn to find out if he needs to take the one shot. So he's going to use the Tapu Lele.
I don't know if you actually would retreat here, because if you retreat, you basically spare your opponent a Lysander. If you retreat into another useful Pokemon like Vulpix, then the Feather Arrow goes to the bench and the Vulpix is already active, but other way you could just promote the Tapu Koko or something.
Right, okay.
Range of damage, so it might even be the best way to just attack for 100 damage here.
I see what you mean, that makes a lot of sense. We see there, using the Lele, he's going to grab himself the Lysander.
Yeah, he might Lysander the Rowlet. Just Sycamore.
Okay, so he's doing that to...
Yeah, maybe get into this discard, but he does play for versus Seeker and he has only used one, I think, so far.
Yeah, that's almost certainly why he did that. Well, he has drawn into the Ninetales as well, so he can start...
Maybe his Karen was pressed, otherwise I think he would just hit the Karen.
Yeah, this is true. We see a Lone Ninetales and another Ultra Ball, but it looks like he may be deciding not to play. He does have an Aqua Patch in his hand, so... I don't know if he has water in his discard already. He does, so he doesn't need to play the Ultra Ball to get it alive. Okay, so now we get a choice back. He can actually take the one shot. He has got an Ultra Ball, so he can grab Artillery. And he can maybe get the choice band off of this and actually get the crazy nuts one shot on Tapu Lele.
Yeah, actually. I'm just thinking about if that player would even be the best choice to go for, because then he puts out his Alolan Ninetales in the active spot, ready to be damaged.
Yeah, he does.
The Tapu Lele is going down anyway from a Feather Arrow, but okay, it's obviously just getting the Giratina down to discard it later.
Yeah.
With another Ultra Ball. Now he's going for Artillery.
Cool.
Luckily, both are in the deck right now next to each other.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so he's just doing this to maximise the chance of hitting choice band. I mean, if you're going to go for this play, you need to give yourself the best odds of doing it. So.
Yep. And so apparently he's really going for the choice band.
Yep, so here we go. We're going to see an Abyssal Hand for 5. Does he hit it? Yes, he does.
Yeah, there's the choice band.
So
he can definitely go aggressive here.
Yeah, and that's exactly what's going to happen. A choice band onto the Ninetales, and he can just retreat using the water energy, bring up the Ninetales, and there that is going to be a Blizzard Edge for 190 for the KO on the Tapu Lele.
What's the best way to respond for Heady here? I mean, of course, you knock out the Tapu Lele.
Yeah, you do that first, and I think you just see what extra options that gives you, because maybe you get extra Decidueye pieces from that.
Actually, if you get 3 Decidueyes out in play, you could even just devolve the Ninetales right away.
Yeah.
But seems like he's going for a Shaman. Scary can play with choice band.
Oh,
did he actually forget to draw for a Shaman?
I think he had too many in hand, or he was going to end anyway, so it didn't matter. Although he could give more options.
Of course you want to draw into Dartrix or something if you can. But probably he had too many cards in hand.
Yeah. I think, because he would have had to put down a Shaman first and then attach a choice band and the double colour, so I think with that he would have had too many in hand, if that makes sense.
Probably, yeah.
No, this is really cool because, you can now do this and Andre goes down to a bit of a lower number. He can use the one Feather Arrow to knock out the Tapu Lele, and then he can, Skyro 10 for 60 on the Ninetales. It's a really solid turn.
So, it looks like he's going for a feather arrow on the Vulpix, which also makes sense because you don't need to knock out the Tapu Lele right away.
No, this is true.
Because taking early prizes might be not the best thing to do. Because, I mean, you obviously want to go after the Ninetales, and you can't really pick up the knockout on Tapu Lele at any point in the game.
No.
There's nothing stopping feather arrows. So dropping down in prizes early might not even be great because of N and stuff like that.
No, this is very true.
So, smart plays from Eddie, I think.
Yeah, and now what he could do is do a crazy turn where he, say if he gets another Decidueye, 2 more onto the, or so like another, say, he needs 3 Decidueye for that, but he could have some crazy turn where he literally just goes, just 2 more onto the Vulpix, and then knock out the Lele with a Feather Arrow, and then Miraculous Shine to devolve the 2 Ninetales and just sort of win straight away.
Yeah, that would certainly be the craziest thing you could do.
Yeah.
The most explosive turn that's possible to imagine, but I think even if he can't get out maybe 1 more Decidueye, and he'll be fine, I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree.
With 2 Decidueyes, he could deal 40 damage to the Vulpix next turn. If it evolves, he can just evolve it and knock it out. And given that Andre doesn't draw into his Rough Seas, of course, but also if he gets out more Decidueye, so it seems like Andre just goes for
the Rowlet. Oh, if he'd Lysander the Espeon, he would have actually been able to knock it out.
Yeah.
So that's I think he was worried that he wouldn't draw into the Water Energy, but actually.
Yeah, but in this case you just go for it. I mean.
Yeah.
But he actually decided to just use the GX attack to not be in danger of getting devolved by Espeon because he didn't draw into Rough Seas through himself.
Yeah.
So that was basically the safe play because Espeon could have been recovered with a Rescue Stretcher and then it would have rolled for nothing.
Okay, in hindsight, that
and now
makes
he's
sense.
dropped down to 2 prizes, and next turn he can just pick up the Espeon and knock it out with a Blizzard Edge. So I think he's set up for game perfectly. Now it's only a license.
Yeah. Oh, in fact, Heady
Conceives.
Wow.
So actually, smart plays from Andre.
Yeah.
We see Rough Seas were prized, but he didn't even leap in this game.
No, he didn't.
Really funny.
He played around it differently to try and sort of make it work out. And this might be a tie and die, There's only 6 minutes left on the clock. I mean, as I said before, anything can happen, but I really don't fancy any of either of these guys' chances at finishing out a game 3.
Yeah, it's always sad to see winning end like that. Tie is never fun.
No.
But actually, I think they both played as good as they could, and in the end, it would be a deserved tie, I guess.
Yeah.
In this game, Eddie was just not unable to set up the way he had to. Maybe he was just overconfident, maybe a little,
possibly
didn't pay attention to what Ninetales could do to his Pokemon
in
time.
Possibly.
But I think he had some of his tech cards, but he didn't have enough Decidueyes. So
no.
That was probably a problem.
Yeah, I think that was really the big thing. It was because that was a little bit of a problem he had in the early game, in the last game, but then he managed to recover and set up loads. In this game, he only had like 1, maybe 2 maximum, and so he wasn't able to put on enough pressure with his Feather Arrows, which was a big problem.
Exactly. And it's actually funny because Ninetales was able to put on so much pressure in this game, and we were talking about Ninetales being the slow deck, but this game it seemed like it was really fast. Like second turn he already knocked out Alolan Vulpix, and it seemed like he was at the advantage because he could attack the Tapu Lele for so much damage next turn, but then already after that he was able to knock out the Tapu Lele with one hit with the Alolan Ninetales.
Yeah, and of course what was a big difference from that game to the last game? Octillery made all of his fast plays possible. That was the difference.
Octillery not being priced was really good for him.
Yeah. Just being able to take those extra draws and set up those insane plays was all the difference. It's made all the difference between winning and losing. And oh my God, Heady just does a attach and pass.
So if Andre plays fast enough, we might even see him win here.
Yeah.
He just needs to be aware of time and make fast plays, first of all.
Yeah.
Because he's not against the Decidueye, you're not going to lose in 4 minutes, so you're not going to lose anyway right now. You just need to play fast, and even though you don't make perfect plays, just play fast. You just make sure you play well enough so that you can just pull out the win. It is a bit sad that there's no real way of
there's no real way Andre taking a prize to him, which is a bit sad. Like maybe if he had a Lysander and DCE and a Tapu Lele plus a DCE, he could like take a knockout on a Rowlet maybe, but he's opting to bridge it instead, which is still obviously good, but not.
I think he has a DCE. Yeah, he has a DCE in hand.
But no Lele.
Yeah, he could just attach that to Tapu Koko and deal 20 to both of those Rowlets, putting them in range for Icy Blade.
Ice Blade, yeah. But if he wants to do that, he needs to like decide to do that quicker than he's doing now. This is like way too slow. He must know that.
But he just goes for the beacon. Yeah. We could see he was really thinking about the Tapu Koko, but in the end he's just going for the beacon and attaching to the bench, which is the conservative play. I don't know. I think in this situation you need to really go all out to try to overrun your opponent. But we'll see what he does next turn. This was only the first turn, so he can't really point out his strategy.
Yeah, exactly. And does Eddie draw a supporter? That's the more important question. It looks like the answer might be no. Oh, he has 2 Dartrix though. That's pretty good. But that's it.
Just a pass. Well, maybe he has 2 more Decidueyes next
Possibly,
turn.
yeah. I mean,
would be fine. Now, for now, it's not looking like there's much for ID. And now maybe we get a pick at his hand. There was one Revitalizer there, but obviously there can't be too much. Now we see Andre just cutting 2 lands. Doesn't want to play them, obviously.
And comes another Alolan Ninetales to the active for Andre. And we're probably going to see all 3 of them out turn 1.
All 3 Ninetales.
And there goes an Abyssal Hand.
Awesome. That's a really strong setup for Andre.
Yeah, it is.
And if he needs one, it's this game. But still, it just needs to finish his turns quickly.
Yeah, he does. Ultra Ball there, Stallion Hatch, and Alolan Vulpix probably gonna get.
Usually I like things like that, but now they're just taking time off the clock.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, he's doing it very quickly, to be fair.
Yeah, so to be fair, it's fine, I guess.
Yeah, but if there's seconds the difference between him being like turn 0 or turn 1 at a time, then he might end up regretting it.
Probably you need every second you can get now.
And at this point, you know you're not going to play anything, just announce your deck. There's nothing else you can evolve, there's like maybe a float that you can do, but other than that, 50 on the active. Pass the heading, what's he get? Well,
I mean, a Decidueye would be really good already.
There
seems to be a Decidueye, so he's just manually evolving that. Okay, looks like he's retreating.
He actually passed the attack.
Okay, that's really strong.
Yeah.
Now I can just attack for 90, and just out of nothing he has a 240 HP attacker attacking for 90 and putting 20 on something else. That's strong. I mean, he didn't have much. He doesn't even have a card in his discard pile yet. But anyway, he has a decent board, and maybe that's enough to survive. Only 30 seconds left.
No matter which way look at it, Philip, it's going to be ridiculously close. One of these 2 might actually be able to pull out a win, but they need to speed up. Yeah. It's like right on the edge, but I don't think.
Yeah, Andre probably needs to use his GX attack now to ensure not getting that big next turn.
Yeah, he does.
And then next turn he can probably follow up with a Blizzard X. And then we'll be fine, I guess. What AD needs are more basic Pokemon. If he draws into something like Bridget, it's game over probably, then it's a tie.
Yeah, exactly.
But if he doesn't draw into any more basic Pokemon...
That is now time on the round.
Yeah. So I think Andre is going to be turn 0 right now. Yeah, he has to be. He's actually attaching to the bench. I don't know about that. I mean, I would probably just attack actually active here and just hope to draw into Aqua Purchase later to attach to the bench that way. And go for the GX attack now to set up for a 2-shot.
So they know it's time. There goes Ice Path.
Ice Path, yes.
So now, basically, if Eddie draws any basic Pokemon, it's a tie. But Andre can still win.
That's exactly what we needed, basically, to ensure the tie. Yeah, that Bridget. I mean, even if 6 basic Pokemon are priced right now, I think,
That's. I realised I forgot to update the score in the last game, but
of course it's 1-1. That's why we're talking about the tie all the time.
But no, Bridget will 100% steal the tie for this match.
Unless one player decides to scoop, which is highly unlikely, given that they both want to make top 16.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's a shame. Are they going to carry on playing? I mean, there's basically no difference at this point.
Yeah, maybe they're both hoping like that their opponents are going to scoop for some reason.
Maybe. But
I mean, at this point, it's kind of heartbreaking for both, I guess. But oh well, they had a good run up until now.
Yeah, they did.
They almost made top 8.
And chances are one or both of them will make top 16 if they're tied us as well, which is still decent prizes. Packs, points, a little bit cash in hand.
Nothing to scoff at.
No, exactly. Not at all. So if they know. Yeah, it is kind of strange to see this sort of thing sort of carrying on, because it's like we all know what's going to happen, So it's like David always says, just kind of carrying on for no reason.
Yeah.
What do you even say at this point? Just like
we could try to maybe answer some questions in the chat if there are any.
Apologies, we've been neglecting the chat throughout the stream, but. Yeah. Oh wow, been a lot of questions.
So, do you have any questions about anything? Just go ahead.
Before we go into top 8, before we go into top 8, do you guys have anything you want to know? Standings, yes, we can show standings at some point.
Maybe we do have some statistics to pull up as well.
Yeah, we can definitely do that for you. We're getting some statistics ready for which is just for the top 8. We can show you guys some of the breakdowns of the meta game, and including what countries did well. We got all that ready before top 8s. How's Tor Reklev doing? Yes, it looks so. He must have.
Yeah, he's already locked in top 8.
Yeah, there you go. That's cool as well. Other than that, it looks like there's no other questions, I guess. Actually, in terms of knowing who's already made cuts, we know some, but not all.
Actually, somebody told us that the player camps are not shown. Thank you for that input.
we
will
know.
look into that. No, actually, to be honest, we had some problems with the player camps today. We didn't figure out why, but we can actually only show 2 camps, and it doesn't really make sense to show one player camp or the other.
Yes, actually, there's sort of free video source issues. So we use one of the face cams for the main field. That's the most important thing of everyone.
Yeah.
You want to see, sort of,
That's true.
want to actually see the things.
Looks like they signed the match slip right now.
Are they?
Do they sign? Yeah, they did sign.
No.
Oh, somebody scooped.
Yep. Who?
Oh, no. Oh, it was actually a mistake.
No, it's not. Yeah, someone scooped.
Yes, someone scooped?
Yeah, but...
So who's that? Actually, it looks like it is scooped because they circled 1 for Andre. I'll just ask them real quick.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
It's so I mean, I was finding out was exactly what happened there. So yeah, they're just all packing up now. We hope you guys enjoyed that game all the same. And like I said, if you have any other questions, we're going to be going to a break in a little bit. So if you have any other questions, please let us know. In terms of, again, who's locked into cut right now, we're not 100%. We don't 100% know exactly what's happening with that yet. But
to Andre.
There you go. So
great. How do you say that? Great thing from Eddie here, giving Andre the win, letting him move on to top 8.
Yeah. So there we go. We just actually had some of the depth through for the people who are into top 8 already. So the following 4 are locked in for top 8. We have Tor Reklev, Thomas Just, Mark Lutz, and Carl Peters so far, and probably Andre as well.
2 Germans, 2 Czechs, and 1 Norwegian.
Yes, exactly. So that's what we have so far.
Yeah.
We will. So that'll be the end of this round. We're going to wait for the rest of the round to play out and take a short break. When we come back, we'll show you who made top 8, we'll show you the standings, and we'll bring you some statistics from day 2. But until then, don't go away.